Do we have your attention? Good morning. I'm quite lucky. I'm blessed, as people often say. And I feel blessed as well as being blessed today. In the distance I can see a solitary kayaker. Probably have to his other left Cork Bay, Bishop or Milestones. And this false bay across to Blithing. And then there's some absolutely desperate surfers. The waves are flat. There's the glitter, the shine, or whatever you call it, in the sea. And the surfers are sitting and desperately waiting for wave action. I come back from a morning session. I discovered one of the worship shrines in Biped. I woke up in good time. It was still dark when I woke up, and it was darker because there was no power. And once we got power, and for those who are not South African, we are on stage something in load shedding, which means that for some time of the day we don't have power. Eventually, when we did get power, when power allowed me, I switched the kettle on and made some coffee. Got dressed and headed off to the shrine and found other worshippers there. And the place that I'm referring to is called Jacob's Ladder. There were lots of us, a few hundred. All of us trying to get to the top. Met the people up. Trying to get to heaven. Trying to not be in the way when you can't go anywhere. It's the head of just keeping going. There are two things that I want to chat about. This is going to be the weekly vlog. On that side you can see some hikers that are making their way into the mountains. Ladies the mountains will come later. This is the weekly vlog, and I'm going to try and push through it, and I might just do one chapter here. That's a brilliant idea. I'll do one chapter here. The first chapter is putting something out there. For those who believe in God, for those who believe in the universe, for those who believe in self. I put something out there at the end of last weekend. I was invited to a market, and it was a particularly horrible market. It was horrible because it was the end of the timing. People just didn't have any money. It was horrible in the sense that there were few people and few traders, and then it was also horrible because I was trying to go against the flow by trying to sell a sustainable product to a very few people who didn't have any money. And I clearly remember coming away from that experience and met with my business partner the next day. And I lamented to him like Job, woe is me. I felt like I was sitting on an ash pile. I didn't like how I felt. I felt horrible. And something needed to give, something needed to change. And together we put it out there. And a strange shift happened. Once we verbalized how we were feeling about being there and doing what we were trying to do, suddenly, on that Monday morning, I had a business meeting with a colleague, and the same product that I was trying to sell to people 2 days ago, this person was interested in it, so interested in it that he wants us to service a big operation based on this product. So I went from there Next thing, my phone rings, and it's a person that found my business card in their driveway, and they wanted to do Bokashi business with me. And a couple of days later, I find myself meeting with the community feeding project. Names I'll hold back a little bit, but they're the big boys. And they approached me to sign a service arrangement in dealing with their waste. And it goes on and on and on. There's a few other bits that I'm leaving out, tastefully leaving out. So number one, I'm going to keep putting it out there when I'm happy and when I'm sad. And then my next thing that I'm going to put out there in the next chapter has got to do with why I choose to bare my soul. Stay tuned. Chapter 2, at a new venue. I think I'm going to aim for about 4 chapters today. I'm sorry if you can't hear me well enough, but my audios are in a state of flux. I've had multiple experiences with barefootedness, but a couple of weeks ago it surfaced again. I was wearing flip-flops that I bought from a thrift shop, and they got to the end of their thriftiness and fell apart on me. I waited for about a week before I bought some more at the Pick and Pay clothes store. 2 for 60 rand or some crazy price. But it was the Somalian woman's expression on her face when I walked into the shopping mall barefooted. Because clearly in her culture it was taboo to show your feet. That almost made me not want to buy, not want to come. But what's happened subsequently in Japan is that, and now I'm going to firstly connect this chapter to the previous chapter, putting it out there. So I put it out there that I am going to talk about barefootedness this morning, and then on the way here I meet Dinesh, who's running on the stretch that I normally run, but now I'm walking on that stretch. He's running barefooted, so we chat. He's loving it, and so am I. And I started off on a 1K beach stretch. I found that 1K stretch wasn't always reliable, and I kind of messed up my running sandals, the Urachis. I didn't get it right. I didn't make it right the previous time. And then I tried to fix it before I knew it was done. So then I was bare without any soul. I started on that 1K stretch. That 1K stretch, maybe did it about 3 times. Also realizing that this chapter is the health update. I started on that 1K stretch, and I saw too many dead seals, and then I found a stretch along the catwalk, beach path to St. James Pool, and then I go down through the tunnel, and then I come back on the road, and it's a beautiful 4K, and it's a congested 4K, because you've got to swerve out of other people's way all the time. You constantly have to be checking your back, because there's somebody faster than you, skinnier than you, less clothed than you. I kept going on that route, and I thought that there'd be a fair amount of pain involved, and strangely not. And the reason that I am not touching the soles, my soles are not touching the ground today, is actually quite simple. It's because I'm wearing something. Because I find that walking, the heel strike makes my feet a little bit tender, and running is a completely different action. And I am still going. I'm going to keep it up. I've extended. I'm running that same stretch 3 times a week. And then when I'm not running it, I'm walking it. So it's 5-6 times a week. And I stretch it out. Put another K on the end of it. So a few days ago, it became a 5-6 K stretch. And this morning we did take it flatter. So I'm very happy to say in terms of walking and running, we're on track. In terms of diet, I was a bit worried about my weight gain, belly, and I was realizing that walking and surfing, my normal activities wasn't cutting it. So I stepped it up a bit. So we started intermittent fasting, and I do that 5 days a week, and I find that it's easy for me to miss breakfast. I don't really wake up with the need to eat breakfast. So then I lost my place. I just must say to you that music has got concentration of the most beautiful women. I must just put that out there. I put it out there on this channel that I would want to talk about barefoot running, and then I bump into a guy also running barefoot, and I simply have a partner. And I've seen a lot of, I think the thing that I need to say is that there's freedom that comes from letting it all out. There's a vulnerability, there's an expression, there's an intention. There's almost a therapy in walking barefoot, and running barefoot. And I'm looking forward to getting up to the serious Ks, to the 10-15s, so that I can see if it's possible to get to the marathon distance. I'm not going to force it. I'm going to take my time on that. I am got back to intermittent fasting, and my intermittent fasting conversation is that I can miss breakfast quite easily, like I've done now. And I get hungry around about this time, and then I have more coffee. Fish for lunch. And probably about 3-4 o'clock is when I am again hungry. And I've got to do something. I've got to find a way to do that. So I hopped on the scale the other day. And the scale is to be believed, and I think I lost 6 Ks in 1 week. And I'm just looking at a post, or I have just looked at a post of a friend of mine who suffers from obesity, who's lost 30 Ks, and I think relatively in the same space of losing the weight that we've gained. There's an image that I've come across of a man sculpting himself, cutting himself thinner, cutting away the layers. And this is Nigel. He's actually commenting on my post right now. I want to dial him in. I want to talk to him about what it's like to have to lose that much weight or suffer the consequences. yeah, and then the sleep is good. Last night I went to bed when the power went out at 8, I think, and I woke up, it was dark when I woke up. I woke up just before 5. And there's sometimes, dear listener, that I manage full 12 hours sleep. So there's something special there. It just feels so, it's a different kind of energized. When your battery is charged, it's just charged. You've got green lights. You can do things. You can think things. So that's all very good. The next chapter, I want to focus in on a project that has presented itself. Chapter 3. I'm not putting cameras on things other than my face today because 2 reasons. One is that there's not much to see except cars in front of me, and there is it's a beautiful day in Wittenberg. It's beautiful. It's cloudy and it's misty, and there's tons of surface art. Usual. That's beaches spots filling up. Now that my soles are bare, I'm feeling other nakedness is coming my way, and a few things that you do know. I had a bit of a conversion experience where I was making a product for a while, and then I put it on to put my face into a bottle, one of my products. It sparked something. It made me, connected me to my product in a different way than before. It's not just putting your name on it, it's branding yourself, being defined by what you do, but also not being defined by what you do, by being more than what you do. So I put out the chutney, and that was good. And then it rolled, and then I put out 2 chutneys. It's been great, and I found good clients. They came and they went. Most of them went. But there's a different energy now that it's me. Because now I feel a little bit like a father and a child. That sometimes where I first want to go and see where the product is going before I settle into an agreement. Because I feel very protective over this bottle. Bloodshot. That's what I'm going to start calling the Benson's bloodshot, because I'm heading into the vulnerability and nakednesses. So there's a mother tongue that wants to be spoken. I went from coffee, from bloodshot, we moved to coffee, started with a K, and that's a project where we recycle horrible coffee and we add some spice to it. And then Bokashi has been the latest one. It's been an adventure because I've tested the product a few times. I'm very happy to say that it works. And then maybe a day ago, I was thinking about how to spend my Monday and about maybe I should just back up a bit. There's the farm that's got products, and then there's the kitchen that's got its own set of products, and then there's the online space that's got a set of products, this being one of it, a regular blog. And I have been into this media space, thinking about it for a while, because I registered a Back a Buddy campaign a while ago, and now I've got to fill out the details as it were. I registered a Patreon page a while ago, and now I've got to give details. And this here is the year of detail. What is it that I need to be backed on? And it came to me clear as daylight. Almost visionary, almost magical. That the main product that I want to put out this year is a book, which is a compilation of my vlogs and my experiences. And I'm actually so happy to say that to you, that you can back me on that one. There's something, the difficulty that I had, the way I approached it, is that I was beginning to if you start cooking regularly, then you have cooking thoughts. Okay, you see yourself cutting tomatoes all the time. When you start vlogging and writing often, then you see the world through that lens. And then the same thing happens to me with film work, with video stuff. I'm always snipping and snapping and editing and interviewing people and doing stuff. But it all holds together in a written piece that can be read offline. Makes complete sense to me. That's the first product that I want to put out this year. The next product that I want to be associated with is something that is still, we are still cooking it. We've given up trying to sell ourselves to those who don't want to buy. And without giving too much detail away, it's become clear to us that one way this year is going to be, we're going to reach a goal that we set for ourselves, is for us to start a farmer's market. As I say that, just after I've said book, and overcome with joy and excitement. But I need you to back me, I need you to back us as we venture out. Thanks for watching. I've run out of numbers for the chapters. I've run out of time, but I've got to conclude. I've got to come to the end. My spirit is low, and I'll give you an idea as to why. I'm going to post this video, this vlog, later today, and I'm going to edit out my emotions a little bit. I'm going to self-regulate so that I can not offend anyone. That's actually the main thing. I don't want to offend anyone. I had the thought, as I do often, is what does one need to do to fit in? Sense of place. That's the chapter, yeah, sense of place. So we've become people based on where we were before. Our last chapter in Sunnydale Massey, we became people there. We were defined by where we lived, and it's hard not to be defined by where you live. We find that where we are now, our kids have changed, and then we've changed, and we are changing. And then a thought hit me while I was out and about one day, and the thought came to me, well, there were two thoughts really. Let me just get the heavy thought out of the way. I know quite a few of the beggars around, and that's just my cross that I carry. And whenever I see the beggars doing their bit, I don't have a bubble that protects me. I don't not see them. I can't go to a place where they're anonymous to me. I literally see their story. And Cynthia is one such beggar. She's a granny from Massey, and she now begs outside Checkers. And every time I go to the spa for this last 2 months, I see her, and I choose not to engage because their begging saddens me. And instead of getting money from me, I leave the encounter feeling empty. That's where she has ended up. The other thought that came to me, there are 3 Musenberg thoughts: sense of place, and I'm going to build up to the last one, is that there are places that you've got to walk and be very careful because you might get vomited on. I'm not sure if I've mentioned that before, but I avoided getting vomited on a couple of weeks ago during the heat of the day. Sense of place continued. I'm back home now, and I have to get this published. There's nothing that's going to get in the way between me and pressing the publish button. Sense of place, I've carried on the extension of that. So you know that there are areas in Musenberg that there are beggars with stories. Sometimes they put their story on a board and they hold it up. Sometimes their face tells the story, or their lack of eye contact tells the story. Sometimes in one case, there's a beggar that at traffic lights that sits down because he's lost a leg to tell the story. Then you also know that there's the vomit alley in Musenberg where you can get vomited on, or you can see where other people have vomited. Apologies for the sensitive viewers. I will have to say this is adult content. And then the last thought in terms of sense of space is one of the reasons I've gone barefoot. In many reasons is a sense of place. I wanted to kind of walk in a way during the holiday time that could show other people that I live here. I'm not here on holiday. Everybody else is here for a short time. And then it came to me very clearly that one way that you can fit in here quite easily is to walk with very little clothes. And the very little clothes walking about is not actually it's actually functional, because when you go down to swim, you don't really need a towel, you don't need shoes, you don't need a t-shirt really. I've started using my t-shirt as a towel. So that's me and my sense of place. The last chapter, I promise. Family issues, family update. So you all know that Helena's matriculation picture has nearly broken the internet. I think I'm on to about 200 and something odd likes and comments and congratulations. And we are very proud of her. I am particularly proud of the fact that she has achieved a bachelor's pass. In the moment that it happened, the results came through, it was on a Friday. We were all home and she was in her room for all of the time. She literally only came, we could hear giggling, nervous giggling. And I often think that the sound that the teenagers make, I should record that and make some money off it, sell it to the people that are making online content. But I wanted to put a video on them. I did put a camera on them, but there was so much emotion around all of us that it was electric. So well done to her. And I want you guys to continue watching the space as we hold space for Helena as she transitions. She has started teaching at Gabriel School. She's got a student that she teaches 2 days a week. She's was filled a life with service, which was filled a life with surfing, and lots of friendships. So we wish her the best as she explores her adult life, as she negotiates getting visas, and she's already been accepted in the job in Germany. She just now needs to get all the bits that's required of her. So hold on to my firstborn, our firstborn. Barbara turns 50 on the 12th of February, which is in 2 weeks' time, and I think Ian would be visiting us then. So I've been racking my brain as to how to celebrate, and I've got some ideas that we've got way too many books. This is good for a family, so I think I'm going to try and get a decent amount of bookcases fitted into this flat in this next little while. There's a bunch of other. Yeah, let me. I'm pained to say this, but I'm going to link the two. There seems to be a polarization in the opinion about AI, and people are either loving it or hating it. And at the moment, I'm loving it. I'm loving the fact that it is so clever and that it's so easy. It's so accessible. It's not sitting behind a paywall. Well, it is, but it's not expensive. So I give it the references, I give it things to go and do, and it does it for me. It's like having a paid assistant. And the thing that came to me in the church service today was that AI cannot make mistakes. AI can't misinterpret. AI can't get it wrong, which makes us human, which makes our story beautiful. The minister got it wrong a few times today. Well, the first thing they got wrong is 20 years plus we were in the same community, and I was in a space where I wasn't sure about church, but ended up going, and I was saved by going to that body of church members. That was 20 years ago, and I clearly remember being energized by the worship because there was multiple cultures, multiple languages spoken and sung. There was I shouldn't mention names, but there was a guy who drew me into himself, the minister. That was then. And I went to the same group of people today, and I came away slightly disappointed. And I think they got it wrong. I think they got it wrong because there was one language being spoken. I think they got it wrong because there was one dominant culture. I think they got it wrong because the preacher actually made one or two mistakes, and that made him human, and that was okay. I think they got it wrong because instead of the pulpit being the main thing when you walk into the building, there was a coffee machine, and I think they've got it wrong. So I am going to I want you to watch that space with me in terms of how, and I think the difficulty for me is that the place that I was in this morning does not suitably reflect the community that it's located in, and we've still got a way to go. And I don't know if I can help. I don't know. That's the sadness that I have with the Church of God. I don't know if I can help being on the inside. So my week looks busy. I've got the plan before the end of Feb to go live with a website so that people can get access to me, really, by ordering stuff. I'm open for speaking appointments if that is something that you need to hear, and whether it's books, whether it's chutney, or whether it is walks on the beach. Let's do this together. With that, I'm out.